Okay, getting on to the stream. Today, I am going to start with the header, I think. Yeah. Yep, we're going to start with the header. We're going to start with this layout. Default layout is going to be taken from here. No, taken from the root. And we are going to move this. Move that out, move that out. We'll leave the outlet. We'll go to the default layout. We're going to come down here and say the main content. It's going to be wrapped there. This class name is going to replace this one, which originally just had padding on the bottom. Now it's got padding all the way around. That's good. Root, we're going to take this header out of here. We're going to move the header over here. Hit save. Come on, fix it for me, baby. I should automatically fix. I am missing these bad boys, which should be, I don't know, in here I guess is fine. I'm going to get rid of this route. And, oh, yep, right. We need a little JS sexy thing. JS sexy thing. There we go. Nav link. We need to bring the nav link in from here. We're not using you. Get rid of that. Put that there. Come up here. Put that in there somewhere. Get rid of pretty much everything except that nav link. There we go. Nav link is not defined. Actually, now it is. Beg to differ. There you go. Cool. Now there's a little bit of padding misalignment there, which I'm actually going to want to add some padding. Because if we get this small, we don't want our header like touching that. So let's go here and let's go kind of the same thing we have here. Class name. Ooh. That's kind of annoying. Do we need this class name? Yeah, I think the class name on that is fine. Yeah, that's fine. This Z index, I don't know why I have that there anymore. And this relative thing. Yo, Kotin, what's going on, my dude? Got some music playing on that now. Awesome. What's up? Thanks for the subscription. I feel like I may have disabled subscriptions, but that's still pretty cool. Okay. We've got this heading stuff. We need to put some padding on it. Definitely left and right padding. Probably some top and bottom. There we go. Now it aligns. Give some breathing room. And I think what I want to do, maybe give it some styles to deal with. I have another issue. I have a max width on my content here, which I should not have, because I don't want this content to be full width, And I don't want this content to be full width, but I do want to be able to add like a background color on this header thing. So we're going to fix that. We're going to go... Yeah, music's kidding me right now. Right, we're going to go here. Where we have this padding, essentially add that same margin on the main content. Do the same on this header, but not on the header itself. Well, actually, kind of yes, except we're going to pull that in onto the nav. So the nav is going to have the content limited, but the header is going to go full width. And that's going to give us the ability to do some color on the background. So the question is, what color do I want on the background? Tempted to kind of stick with this red, but I might do like the green that we have. So maybe we'll do that. Let's do background color current color maybe? I feel like Tailwind ought to have something like that built in. It doesn't look like it does. That's actually not a good trick. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull that in, be more explicit. From the Tailwind colors. So we've got primary, secondary, and then I'm going to have like a dark color is going to be, where's my dark color? Should be in my styles. CSS. Somewhere up here. There you go. Color dark. There it is. Yeah. Primary, secondary, light, dark. Cool. Let's pull those in. Here we've got, get rid of that and that. Get rid of that and do that. Replace that with commas and we're good to go. Cool, we'll stop this server and restart it. That's going to rerun the Tailwindy things. And then because I have these defined in my in my colors, should be able to do background colors that way. So let's go background should be dark and text light. Ought to work. I think maybe a reload is required there. Okay, cool. I've got it working. The color right now looks like butt because my links are red. And to fix that, there's a number of things I can do. I can either modify explicitly the nav link, or I can change the color at the CSS level, like at a global level. And I kind of feel like I want to do that. So let's do that. App.css, we've got these layers, we've got some classes. I think it's going to go up above these classes. And its role equals banner, right? So let's do something like that where I say I want to grab the header. Role equals banner should be the only landmark across the page that's like the header. And then I'll just grab the links in there and say that the color should be equivalent to var of, you're not gonna give me my color, so that's cool. What is it? Color light. Oh, okay. I had to start typing it. There you go. Put that in there. That should override the default colors. There you go. They just turned white. That's awesome. If I reload, what is going on there? No, it's looking fine. Cool. Not sure how I'm feeling about that green. Not a beautiful green. Just not really jiving with these colors. Let's look at the tailwind colors. Tailwindy. Let's look at, oops, that's not what I wanted. Tailwind. And do a quick search for colors, custom colors, picking colors. Yes, colors is annoying. Colors are the worst. That's actually one of the things that I think why Tailwind, like that's the thing that they did really well that really set it apart is they had really good colors, make it easy for folks. Looking hot today. It is feeling hot today. Yeah. Thanks for you know the ego boost. But yeah, it is hot today. We went from 60 degrees last week to 90 degrees this week. No, 90, like almost 100, 90, 97, I think. Yeah. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. So, I really wanted to bring green into this project. It's in the text, like it's hard to tell, but the green is the text color here. I don't think it's working up here, unfortunately. So maybe we can do something that's like, kind of like an off green. Like maybe this one, right? Background dark. Let's go background. What is it? Green? Is it green? Lime. Lime. 800. You don't get above 90s there typically until yeah. We had like this around the it looks like diarrhea. That is not a color I want to work with. Yeah, last year at the very beginning of June, we hit 115 here, which is really weird, but it also kind of feels like it's getting more common, unfortunately. Okay, so the green, not loving it. Blue is another color that is our like secondary color, so I think I'm gonna go for that. And I should have that in my, I'm gonna start sweating here pretty soon. But I should have that, in my secondary. So maybe let's try that. Background, secondary. I think this is gonna look all right. Blap, broken. Blap, broken. Come on, really? Come on, T-dubs. Yeah, should turn the fan on. I'm wondering if Stoney's going to show up today. Oh, that looks a lot better. That looks pretty good. Yeah, we got some highlight colors here. I'm liking that. That's pretty good. Yeah. Really tempted to add that. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm kind of tempted to like add the focus within style so that this border or this outline is not on the link but on the entire card. And I just think that that's it would be a nice touch, but it also makes me wonder, or that would require turning off the outline here. And if focus within is not supported, then we would essentially turn off the outline. I wonder if Tailwind has like a at supports. At supports. Let's see. Looks like they might. So you can also use at rules. That is absolutely terrible, but it looks like it's doable. I mean, this is where it starts to get a little bit at media. Any hover, hover, and hover. I don't know if I like that. I'm curious about this any hover thing. Any hover. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm gonna leave it because, yeah, once again, you could add, let's see, you could add these like styles so it outlines this only when this is hovered or focused, but then that would require getting rid of this and doing a check if at supports is there. Inline styles for the win. What is this little custom emoji thing you've added? If I had to interpret it, I'd say it's doing like... That's what I'm getting from that, so... yeah, inline styles you could do... Well, inline styles you can't do your mocking tailwind. Yeah. Inline styles you can't do media queries. So... I mean, well, I guess it depends what you mean by inline styles. If you mean style tags... style attributes, you cannot do media queries. If you mean inline, like in the document in a style tag, you obviously can. That's probably not something I want to do in a component, and probably not something I want to do in this project. Okay, something else I wanted to fix was I was looking at some of the responsive stuff earlier, and we did a really cool thing with the flex order on this last time, where we made sure that the search is the last thing in the form, but messed up if we do that, because we basically, how do we do that? Oh, by putting the elements in their correct DOM order, but giving this element in order of 1. So how we solve that is essentially only giving it that order. It's your punk rock unicorn. Okay. I mean, we're talking about this thing, right? Like this doodad here. Like, you're telling me this is a punk rock unicorn? Can I zoom in, please? Can I zoom in, please? The heck? Oh. Ha! Hitting the wrong key. There you go. This right here is a punk rock unicorn. I'm not seeing it. I believe you. Unicorns are magical things, and maybe I'm just not enough of a believer. Okay, where was I? Blah, 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 blah. Let's move it one more, bump it back. There we go. That's my size. Oh, shifty eyes with sweat dots. Yeah, okay. Ah, I totally see that. Yes, shifty eyes with sweat dots. What was I doing? Yeah, the order. Okay, cool. We need to go to the index route. Index route. And we need to look at these things. I had something in the order here, right? We move this to the end. So we want to essentially modify this so that on small screens, we move this to the bottom, right? So we're going to say this is actually going to be a display grid. And then at like small screens, we'll do flex. And then we can say on small screens, we'll put the order there. So this will reload, and all of a sudden, this is looking pretty good. I actually like, because we did a grid, this goes full width, and I actually don't mind that. And then, yep, that's kind of okay. I think that probably should actually be extra small. That didn't do anything. I guess extra small is not a thing. Thanks. Really? I guess so. Okay, that's fine. Okay, the other thing is, yep, this is looking good. Probably, ooh, I think I see what I want to do. Don't like what's happening with these two. So let's do this, and let's see if I can solve it with just a flex, wrap, nope, nope, wrap, wrap. Awesome, perfect. So those will just wrap automatically, and then, yep, they'll unwrap when they need to. What happened there? Oh, biting bits, biting bits. Thank you for following. Cool. That has a gap of 4. This has a gap of 2. That means that we have a little bit of disparity between like this gap and this gap. I think I'm gonna stick with, what is it? Larger gap, smaller gap. I think maybe larger gap. So I'm going to maintain the same gap. We'll do, or I could split the difference and do like gap of 3. Let's stick with gap 4. And yeah, this just needed the flexiness across these two divs. So flex, and then we'll do the gap is fine. And then I think flex wrap is what we want. Cool, we've got the gap, we've got a gap. Let's see, we go into a small screen, and then that bumps down to the end, which is great. And then we go onto an even smaller screen, and that stacks, and that's fine. And then screens generally don't get this small, so we don't really care about that. Awesome. Okay, so we've got the home screen, we've got the create. I feel like the home screen, I kind of need a little maybe like a logo for. So let's do a search for SVG. Where am I using? That's not it. That's not it. Is it this one? Avatar, yes. I want this sort of same dude. And we're gonna go into the default route, into the header. We're gonna go, let's see, the text, the nav link. So technically the nav link here is going to take whatever we put there, which generally probably is going to be text. But in this case, I believe I should be able to actually throw some JSX in here. So I wonder if this will work. Or I can do like something like that. Can I do that? I couldn't do that. That should work. And yeah, that SVG is going to be just fine because we have this label support. I'm going to set that to home. It's going to be the paw print. And then we want a text size of like, I don't know. Actually, probably, let's not do the text size right now. Okay, so that SVG, and we are going to, import something from ... where am I? Components, index.js, come back here, and we'll get the SVG, please, thank you. I think that should put it in place. SVG is not defined, yeah. Cool, there it is. We have our little paw print thing. I think the create should actually probably go on like maybe this page, like maybe right next to the header here. Have a little plus button. And I'm actually going to say, I'm going to change how this is. This is going to be something else. This is going to be an unlabeled SVG with inside of there. Let's do like a fragment. And oops, we'll do close that off, and then Sure, that's going to be visually hidden, or like screen readers are just going to kind of ignore that icon. That should be inside of the link though. And what I want is probably like paragraph that's yeah. Neighborhood pet manager. Cool. Title of the application. That I think is going to put it onto 2 lines though. Yep. That's not what I want. I want those inline. So 2 things I could do here. I could either put the classes onto this link, which would work fine. It's kind of just the way to get back home, so that'd be fine. Role image already hidden true, that's good. Or I could do it like on, throw like a span tag in here and throw it on there. I feel like that, oh yeah, it totally has to happen there because I don't want to put it on every single nav link. And also at this point, it's kind of dumb that I'm using these nav links because I'm only going to have one of these. So I'm going to refactor that. We don't need this. Oh, that's really annoying. That's fine. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Because I'm going to be getting rid of this. So then we only have, we're looping over an array of 1 item, which is beautiful. So we're going to go span. Class name equals flex. I think that should be all I need, or a gap of maybe 4. That's going to close off the span, and that ought to do it. We have to use this where we can't use a div because we are inside of a, no, we could have used a div. What am I talking about? Cool, that gap is way too big. Let's do a gap of 2. Uh-oh. Man. Okay, cool. Things are going okay? Changing the song? Okay. Neighborhood pet manager. Okay. I need this to be align center as well. Items center. There we go. That'll put that in the middle. We want to bump the font size on that up. So class name equals text large. Large. Let's try that. Nah, not impressed. Let's go 2XL. That's looking better. I should probably bump that up on the whole thing as well, in fact. Let's do... Let's do 2XL on that, and let's do 4XL on this. There we go. I'm loving that. Looking good at different screen sizes. Not loving that. What if we do, I think this is going to need its own flex wrap as well. So flex wrap. Gosh, there's so many things you have to think about when you do this stuff. Flex wrap, and then let's go justify item center, justify content center. Cool. That'll do it. Flex wrap, justify center. And with all that, we should have responsive styles. And when I go on larger screens, it's, yep, left justified, which is what I want. It could be centered, but I think left is fine. But as it gets to small screens, when the title runs out of space, it'll wrap. And then because it's taking up the full width of that space now, because it's wrapping, then the justify center is going to be like taken over. So that's cool. Okay, title is done. I think I want some more space on the bottom there. Let's go to padding here. We're gonna go margin. Yeah, margin auto is fine, and then margin bottom of, I don't know, 6. No, margin bottom's not going to be it. It's got to be padding bottom. And that's not going to be enough either. Let's go padding bottom 8. Where's my padding? Come on now. Really? Where's my padding on this? Okay, roll main. I'm on the wrong element. Why didn't anyone tell me? Come on. Can't do this alone. Okay. Would margin bottom work? I feel like maybe it would. Margin bottom of 6. I feel like it should. I just need some more breathing room. Yeah, there you go. 8. Just a little bit more. Cool. Got a header, we got some space at the bottom. We've got our dogs. We've got next page, looking good. Yeah, that's looking good. Cool, we can go back home. Oh, yeah, that did take me back home, right? Dang, it's just so fast. Crystal. Nugget, okay, cool. Okay. Right. I needed to add that create thing back. So let's go back to the index route. Beep 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 beep. And I have a problem. I kind of have a problem. My index route is using a default layout. The default layout checks if I have a title, and then it throws the title in there. So what we're going to do is this. We are going to put the title. We're just going to throw the title out there like that. Title is going to be an empty string. And then we're going to say if type of title equals string, and we have a title, then we're going to say title equals this JSX. Otherwise, type of title equals string. I actually want to see if we have the title first. If title and type of title equals string. Then we'll reassign it to this JSX H1. Otherwise, we'll just put it in there if it's empty. That's fine. String is not defined, yeah. But what I can do is this allows me to define the title as its own JSX element. So I can do this little thing here, and I can say title is actually going to be a JSX element of, let's see, what did I want to do? I wanted some JSX, and we're going to say H1. Is my thing not going to work? Ah, it's not going to work. H1, and that's going to be pets. I want it to match the same styles as the other one, so margin bottom of 4 since we're overriding it. But this is also going to need to have a div with a button here as well. And this button is actually going to be a link. So link. Do I have the link? I don't. From here, use loader data form. We need the link, please. This link is going to go to /create, and this link text is just going to be the little like icon-y thing. So we're just going to say like add for now. Let's see. We add all that. That should lay this out with, yep. Sure enough, we have it. There it is. H1 of pets. This link here. Actually, this margin bottom should not be on the H1. It should be on this div. And then this needs to be, let's see, flex. Gap of, I don't know, 4, sure. Gap of 4, align center. That's a link. We also need to have this SVG thing, another SVG. Yeah, where's my init on this? Dang it. Close that off. We actually don't need to do that. We can do a self-closing tag, and we can give it a label of add pet, new pet, add new pet. Yo, finite singularity. Happy Monday to you. Thanks for stopping by. What's going on? You gonna be on today? Let's see. So we've got the pet. We should have a button there. Oh yeah? Let's talk vacation. I was just at the lake. No, the river yesterday. Where'd you go? Tomorrow morning. New clone day. All right. I'm gonna have to check that out. So let's hear about the vacation a bit. Anywhere that I would, anywhere you'd recommend going back to? Okay, I need a new icon for adding stuff. Let's do a search for, I don't know, a little plus icon. Definitely, Virgin Voyages. Okay, a cruise. Lots of fun. No kiddos. Wow. Where did you dock? How long was it? And what was some of the entertainment on board? Also, pretty bold to take a cruise. I don't know if I'd want to, considering all the like COVID news and the cruise ships that had to get docked. Okay, where's the plus sign that I want? Cozumel and Bimini in the Bahamas. Wow. How was the temperature? I would imagine it was like smoking hot. Okay, let's see. For COVID, they were awesome. Everyone was tested before getting on. They were required proof of vax. It was a 5-night cruise. Did they? And you could get off the boat, right? So it's high 80s, so warm. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Did you do anything like swimming with dolphins or anything? That's fun. I did one cruise to Mexico, which was good. It's when I was in my younger days and had a lot of fun. We almost missed the boat, actually. So time out on the coding stuff, because this is kind of a funny story. So I went on this cruise with my buddy. We were like 18 and 19 at the time, and so we were going with his parents. Oh, okay, you didn't get off. Well, I'm sure it was like still wonderful. So yeah, I'm like 18 or 19, and we go on this cruise with my friend's parents, and we stopped at, I don't remember. I want to say it was like Puerto Vallarta or something like that. And, you know, we had like been pretty social on the cruise ship. We met a couple of ladies and at one of the bars or something. And then we decided to all go out onto the mainland for some drinks. And we go and we get there, and we knew what time we had to be back at the boat because it was going to take off that night. And so we're all like looking at our watches. We're like, oh, cool. We got like 2 hours left or something. But we hadn't realized that the boat from the previous stop, it had actually crossed a time zone into like an earlier time zone. So it went from west to east. So we were actually like an hour behind. And when we realized that, we like looked up at a clock at the bar, and we're like, oh my God, what time is it? Yeah. Ship time is different from land time. Yep. So we like look at it and we're like, oh shoot. And I think it was like a half-hour ride or something from where we were to like get there. And we get there, we were literally the last 5 people on the boat. They weren't going to hold the boat for us, but they were kind of holding the boat for us. And we get there, and my friend's parents, they were super protective of my friend too. So they were losing their shit. It was so bad. And so we get onto the boat. Actually, they weren't even like at the doors waiting for us. They were in their rooms. And so we like kind of like run down into our room. We're in one of those rooms at the bottom of the boat that doesn't have any windows or anything. So we get in there, and then all of a sudden we're like just like unlocking our door, and out of the corner, like from around the corner, we hear my friend's dad going, "Marco!" My friend's name is not Marco. And so we respond with, Polo. And he just like rounds the corner. Face is just flushed red. He's furious at us. He's like, do you know what you put your mom through? She thought we were going to leave you in Mexico and blah, 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 blah. It was so like, it was one of those things where it was so bad, but at the same time, nothing bad actually happened. Like no one got hurt. Oh man, it was intense. It was fun. Great night too. So it was worth it. Anyway, we went on a Disney cruise. Oh my gosh. Wow. Can you imagine seeing the staff unloading someone else's luggage because they were late to the cruise and thinking like, oh wow, that could have been my luggage. No, we got so lucky. I mean, I think we were there with like 1 minute to spare. It was intense, and yeah, but you know, didn't let it ruin the rest of the cruise. They have all you can eat free soft serve, so it was good. Okay, cruises, they're fun. Not my number one way of vacationing, but I would do a cruise again. Wow. Yeah. Man, I could not imagine being an hour late. Yeah, I'm sure that they had the same thing where they were on, cruise boat time was different than land time. Okay, what was I doing? A plus sign, a plus symbol. Right, so let me see this SVG symbol. Let's see what this looks like. Let's open up my SVG symbols thing, which injects my symbols onto the page. And I need like a plus. So I like to keep these in alphabetical order. P-A, here we go. So let's do one called plus, 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 plus is fine. What does this look like? It's not too bad. I feel like do I even need an SVG for this? Probably not. I'm just going to use the plus sign, plus symbol. Okay, so where was I? Index, here we go. So instead of let's see, just comment that out for now. We're gonna do a span of aria hidden equals true. Yep, up. There you go. Throw a plus sign in there, and we'll do another span with a class name equal to visually hidden, and that will have the text of add a pet. Cool, let's see what that looks like. There's a tiny little plus sign inside of a link. Awesome. Great. Now this is a link. That's fine. The link itself needs some classes on it. So let's go. Class name is going to be background primary color light. Color light, I think. That's not how you spell primary. Primary. No, yes, that's how you spell primary. That should, yep, cool. The color is not coming through. Color light. Did I take that out of Tailwind? I mean, I'm just gonna make it white anyway. Color white, background primary, and then I need this flex stuff to change. That should have been not align center, items center. There we go. Cool. Buttons in place. That white text should be coming through. That's the problem. It's not color. It's text. Text white, background primary. Then I need some font size here. Let's do text. What size? Maybe like 3XL. It's looking okay. Let's see some border radius. Rounded full. Oops. That should rounded full. This one should also be display flex because text alignment is kind of weird. Right? Why is that not in the middle, right? Doesn't have that display flex yet. Let's go display flex. Really? Okay. Align items. Center. Interesting. That plus sign is going to throw me. Oh, that plus sign is going to throw me because it is a piece of text content and not like an icon, which means it follows the vertical alignment of the font family, not like just being centered. So yeah, we're going to stick with these plus signs. We're going to grab this one. Grab that SVG symbol, go back to these SVG symbol things, undo that. Which one do I like better? I think I have the same one. Cool. Viewbox24 icon. This is going to be ID of icon plus. Don't need this fill. And that is my plus sign. So we'll come back here and we'll undo this because this actually works. We can get rid of these two and we can say that the icon is the plus. Awesome. And there we go. That already makes it rounded. That's nice. Throw some padding on that. Let's see. Don't need this. Flex. Do some padding. Maybe 3. Whoa, that's way too much. Let's do padding 1. Whoa, and then everything breaks. And I don't know. Every time that happens, for some reason, got to restart the dev server. There's my plus sign. There's my cute dog. There's another really cute dog. That's not mine, but I wouldn't mind having it. Okay, site can't be reached. That's always a good. It's always a good sign. Here we go. Okay, we have padding of 1. So, right. What I have here is the font size being passed to this SVG. I'm wondering if the padding should be on the link. The font size can probably be on this dude. Class name equals that. And that way we don't get this sort of extra space on the top. There you go. Padding 1, padding 2, okay. I mean, the other solution could have been just put the padding on the SVG itself. But I think this works. That's too big. That's a good size. That could even go like up here, huh? What are we thinking? Where does this button go? Where does this button to add a new pet? The search is fine here. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know. I'm feeling all right with that. Just kind of come and click that. Add a pet, add a doggo. That shouldn't be doggo anymore, because we have more than just dogs, of course. Add pet. There we go. Got the cancel button. That takes us back home. Okay. And then we've got the actual pet page. Okay, I think adding pet should be up here because then that's like ever present. So let's go ahead and undo everything I just spent all that time on. Great, that feels good. Good. Nice little boost for my ego. Okay. That's how it goes, you know? That's just the name of the game. That's okay though. Default layout, we're gonna have this header, right? Default layout has this header. And then, the other kind of annoying thing is, it's not so annoying. We're gonna have potentially a list of links, which is fine. And then in addition to that potential list of links, and inside of the nav still, we'll have this other link, which, is that a nav link? Sure, it's a nav link. The only difference between link and nav link is the nav link is self-aware in the sense that it knows what page you're currently on and modifies a class name, like adds an active class or something. So if we look at let's see, where is it? This link here, we see it just has the normal classes, and then if I click on it, it should have, where is it? Yeah, so it has this like additional class of active. I don't necessarily need that, but if I wanted to style it differently if we're on this page, if we're on that page, we could. I don't think I want to do that. But now I need to account for this little factor. We need this nav to also be display flex items center justify between max width, padding, and all that. Cool, that gets my button up there, looking good. And I think I need to throw a flex wrap on that. Yep, so we don't do that. Flex wrap, cool. Flex wrap, and then it's kind of annoying that it's like, let's see, let's edit as HTML. I'm gonna see if I can do just like a div on there and see what happens if I do this. And then, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Edit as HTML. Where's my div? There's my div. Ah ha ha ha, it added a div. There you go. That's a different thing that Chrome started doing. And then if I did like text align center, yep, because it's not going to be full width. You know what? Interesting problem. Interesting problem. Justify between. You know what I could do? This might be. That's not going to be an easy fix because. Why is this not taking up so much room? Justify content center works fine at a small screen, but then I have this issue. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go. I'm just going to have to do like a whole thing. Just going to have to do a whole thing. That's all right. Let's look at the small screen first and let's build this out. Okay, I want on a small screen, I want items center doesn't really matter, but I want justify items center, and then I might even want, yeah, probably gonna want text align center as well. So let's go text center. That'll put that to the center, and we need a little bit of gap between the items because we have this and then we have that. So we're gonna go here and do gap of 4. And that should basically establish my like small screen. And then at some screen, I want to change that from justify center to justify space between. And that should really be kind of it. So at the small screen, let's go justify between, and that should split them up. Cool. So small screen, that actually looks pretty good when there's that looks fine. And then they kind of just stack. Cool. Cool. So we canceled that. I think that's looking pretty good. This guy, these are just vertically stacked things anyway, so that's going to be fine. Okay, the only other problem left to fix. No, there are some problems I need to fix. I want to look into some of the things that Remix does for us, which is I started using the form, but one thing that we have available with Remix is this idea of optimistic UI. So right now, all of my database writes happen almost instantaneously because I'm working on local SQLite. But that's not actually the case, or that won't be the case when I do a network request. So let's look at, when I create something. No, probably when I edit something. So if I look at the pet and the pet ID, I think this should actually live in here. Move it. And this should be called index.jsx. Let's make sure I didn't break anything. Cool, it's working. That's how it should be routed. That's fine. So what I want to do is when I hit edit pet, right now I'm editing inline. And I think what I want to do is not do that and use the optimistic UI feature. So when I hit edit pet, then it immediately updates, waits for the network request to come back, and then silently behind the scenes reconsolidates everything. Or reconciles. So let's look at that feature. Cool. I also need to look at resetting this form. Okay, update name. We're going to get rid of this state. What is? Yes, I want to save changes. Use state, we're going to get rid of that. Use fetcher, I think we're going to keep. Reset form, we're going to want to do at some point. And then the name is just going to be the pet.name. And update. There you go. We don't want that. Okay, so we throw on a bunch of exclamation marks, and for some reason what is going on there? That should not have worked. Making me look stupid. Come on, code. Oh. Yes, that's because I am looking stupid. I copied a file or moved it, renamed it, and then left the file open and hit save, which meant that the file that I renamed it to and then the file that was there was recreated. So let's delete that. Okay, now this changes. I'm hoping should be there. No, name is not defined. Awesome. Find name. Yeah, that's going to be a good search. Name is not defined. Here we go. Value is going to be pet.name. Okay. Index 2. What? Okay. Let's see. What do we got? We have that name is still sticking around somewhere. Let's see if we can find like name with a curly brace after it. That didn't really help too much. A pet name, errors.name, owner person name, image name, pet name. Are you sure you still have a problem? Ah, didn't think so. Okay, so now we can change this. That's right. We can't change that because this should be default value. Okay. All said and done. We should have a WebSocket error in the console. Yeah, that's why we're not getting the refreshes. Cool. Let's reset that WebSocket thing. Okay, so essentially what I want here is I want to make these changes, and then when I hit edit pet, then it replaces that. And what we'll see is when I do that almost immediately, that's going to happen by default, which is fine, except that that's not how it would actually happen in production, because right now the network delay is just too small to notice. Like nugget and then edit pet. Okay, that was actually kind of slow. Cool. So yeah, it's a little bit slow. So I essentially want to do a couple of things here. I want to show a loading state. So I want to give the user some feedback. No, I don't want to show a loading state. I just want to show the update, the optimistic UI as soon as they hit save. So how do I do that again? Optimistic. Let's see. Optimistic UI. Well, I don't think this is actually going to have it. Well, the way we do it is with, I think, this use fetcher thing. So fetcher equals use fetcher. Don't need this use state anymore. It's this use fetcher thing. Gosh, I was just looking through this the other day too. Okay, let's do one more search for, yeah, optimistic UI. That's not where I want to go. Here we go. This is what I want. Okay, optimistic UI. Here's the example. User submits a form, or you use submit or fetcher.submit. Remix can help you with optimistic UI with use transition and fetcher. This is it. So in this example, find loader data, H2, ULs, yeah. Here's what the new project route might look like. Ooh. Okay, so I know that I start with this use. Well, I know that this use transition is what I would use if I wanted to show like a loading state when someone hits hit save, you could do like a spinner or like a saving ... or whatever. And that's basically what they're doing here, is checking if this transition, what is it? This just knows when there's like a page transition going on in this component. And so you can check if the transition submission is going on, something like that. That's not quite what I want. I want the optimistic side of things. So, okay, I do need the transition, because with the transition, I can grab the data from the form that was submitted, and then I can inject that onto the page while the page is, while that form submission is like in flight. Something like that. Maintain form state. Client-side validation. No. Okay, so let's go down here into my component itself. And transition equals use transition. I need to grab use transition from Remix React. And then I think I'm just gonna like log transition here and see what I've got. So I think that I'm guessing, kind of hoping that this will change when I submit the form again. So here we go. We've got state submission type is idle. So if I delete that and hit enter, we do get, cool, we do get some changes. State, so nothing changed. And then state was submitting. And then, see, we have the actual submission here. Gosh, that is cool. And then we're done once the form has like reconciled the state from the server and the state from the client. So what I can do is go, I think, on this state.submitting, or if the state equals submitting, then I can grab the form data. Yep, this is how they did it. Transition, so yo, Stony Eagle, I'm so glad you're here. There was something I wanted to show you. A couple of corrections that I had, or mistakes that I had made that we didn't quite catch. You remember when we were doing the background image thing and I was trying to do that SVG background image? With like the Tailwind config, I got it working. And the reason why this background image of this like this white check mark wasn't working was because one, well, first I was using this hash symbol, and this is a URL encoded string, so this hash symbol is not valid, which is breaking the SVG. And number two was I was passing in just the URL like this, which is not valid. This needs the entire URL, like, I don't know, function, like CSS function, whatever you would call that. So now this check white is working with Tailwind classes. That was a fix that I wanted to let you know about. And number two, we're actually working on something right now that is a good differentiator between, or a good thing that, a good response to the question, how is Remix different than PHP? Because you told me to use that website. No, you don't need the website. You don't understand. That website to URL encode it is not the right thing. Trust me. Do not want a URL encoded SVG. But a lot of people ask the question, isn't like Remix or Next, like a lot of JavaScript world is just kind of recreating PHP, right? Things that have been available in PHP forever, particularly things like this, where you have maybe like a route, and in PHP you define your route actions, and then you define your route template, and wipe your hands and go and have a beer, right? So thank you, Brent. Yeah, you know, right? You do not URL encode SVGs. It's just, you can, and it works, but just don't. So the benefit that we're getting here with Remix is what I'm still learning about, but getting into right now, is it gives you things like these transition states where it will use JavaScript on the client side, as long as you use their components, they're like form data. It'll use JavaScript on the client side to intercept these network requests. Like if I do this and submit this form, get that network request, it can intercept that and do a number of things. Yeah, get out of here. So what's going on here is right now I'm only using the form component from Remix. And that already adds a benefit of it intercepted that request that would otherwise like reload the page, and it submits it in the same format essentially, but without having to reload the page. Nicer user experience. We lose something when we do things that way. The user loses something, and that is feedback that they did anything. Another cool thing that they do actually that Stony, this actually, Stony, if you're not paying attention, I need you to just stop what you're doing and just check this out. So I'm gonna make a change on my form, and I'm just gonna spam this button, like hit it a ton of times. And you see all of those requests that have gone through, and they all got canceled except for the last one. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but that's an error on my code. But all of these other canceled requests, I didn't have to do anything to prevent like spamming of network requests. Remix does that for me, which you can do with JavaScript. You can listen to a form submit event, prevent the default behavior, grab the form data, prepare a fetch request, but then you also have to prepare an abort signal. Abort signal? No, you have to prepare an abort controller, grab the signal from that abort controller, and if someone spams a button, and then use a timeout, right? So if someone clicks the button too many times within that timeout, then you would invoke the abort controller on the previous fetch requests so that any previous requests get canceled, right? That's how like all the work you would have to do to get this functionality. This functionality comes built into the browser, FYI. If we didn't use like JavaScript to submit those forms. And what is the other cool thing? The other cool thing, or the other thing that we're missing here now, is when a user submits a form by default, like an HTML form, they do get some sense of a loading state because the browser will navigate. Like it'll go to the page, it'll get the little spinny icon up here, and then when the work is done, the page will respond and they'll see their changes. Now, if we just submit it with JavaScript, we're kind of breaking that feedback loop because right now the way things are is, here, I'm gonna slow this down a bit. So let's see, we have, that's my loader, I need my action. So here's my action, right? I'm going to do some work, and then before actually returning down here, I'm going to say await new promise burp. That's going to be a function that returns set timeout are on, I don't know, 500 milliseconds, right? So it's going to be a 500 millisecond delay. Okay, so now if I hit something like edit, we have like a long delay there. And as a user, I go from hitting edit to not knowing what the heck is going on, and then not having any feedback. So Remix has two solutions for this. One is being able to show, like easily tap into the state of the transition of the application. Not sure I love this naming convention of use transition because I think of like animated transitions. But this transition is really more for like state transition, I think. At least that's how I'm thinking about it. Because it tells you details like, let's go back to the console here. Let's uncomment that out. And let's see, when I make a change and hit save, we see those transition states happening. So we can take that, and now we get into something that's really cool. I'm going to, what am I going to do? I need to change the title of the page. So I'm going to say the title of the page is going to update based on the pet information. So let's see if the title, no, based on the form submitted information. If the transition state, do I have TypeScript? I do, yes, TypeScript, that blah blah. If the transition state equals submitting, then show then we're going to show, what are we going to show? Transition submission form data. Yes. We're going to show the transition dot submission question mark dot form data. Wait, is that form data always going to be there? Yes, the form data is the form data is not always going to be there. If we have the submission and we have the form data dot get, and then we need the name of the form input. So in this case, it's name. Get name. Or we'll just show the pet name. So kind of ugly, but it's a little inline ternary function that says, hey, does the transition state equal submitting? If so, show the submission, like the data from that submission for the input called name. Otherwise, just show the original pet name that we had before. Hopefully I got that right. Let's see, baby, first try, baby. So what we should see is now there shouldn't be a delay from when I hit submit or edit. From when I hit edit, we shouldn't see a delay between this updating up here. So I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, enter, and that submitted automatically. And then we saw like a little flash there, so I don't know what that was. That was kind of weird. It did kind of work. And I may need to see submitting. No, okay. I'll have to look that up. But if I go nugget, and then submit it, cool, we see it. And then where's that? I think that flash must be. That flash must be in my code. So we're saying if the, oh, that's during the loading state. Okay. Okay, so I think what's happening is we submit the data. There's like a couple different steps. One is it's just sitting there idle, not doing anything. That's fine. After we hit submit, we get this transition into a submitting stage. And then that's when the network request is being sent, I believe. And then when we're waiting for the network request to come, or yes, that's the network request sending. And then Remix is responsible for refetching the new data. And that's when it goes into a loading state. I think I may be overthinking this. I maybe just need to use this. Essentially, there's two cases where I would need the form data, and that is when we're submitting or when we are loading. So I think we can actually do this. If we have a submission, then we get the form data for that submission. Otherwise, we just show the pet name. That ought to do it. Oh, 2 question marks in a row. There you go. Cool. Okay, we're going to call it nugs. Enter. Submits, no flash. Response comes back. Cool. Let's check out the network request while we do that. We're going to say Nuggy bugs. Y'all are hearing the most embarrassing things that I call my dog. So we hit that and we get the request that we send, and then we get the request back, and those correspond with these. It's not doing anything, it's submitting, then the request is coming back, and then it's not doing anything. So request sending, request coming back. And we can see that if we look at the headers, post request, and then the get request, that's the loading state. Okay, cool, very cool. And that's a really nice little UI. So next question is, what happens if instead of a promise we reject, let's just like, I don't know, we don't need to do that. We'll just throw. Throw new error, nana, boo boo, boo boo. Silly. Okay, cool. So I'll put blah, 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 blah. And hit save. Okay, nana boo boo. So the reason this is having an error is because I don't have my error capturing. Well, okay, so this would happen, throw new error, because I would then have a try catch. No, I think what I want to do is like, I mean, I think I could just return, right? Return early, return without the new pet. So this would be, there was an error. We didn't end up saving it to the database. I actually don't want to pull this. I want to put this before we save anything, before I upload the image. Essentially when I have like an error here, you heard something else there, so it's okay. You call my kitty. Where's the cats? I don't have cats, and you know, some people like cats. I'm not a huge fan. To each their own. More cats for y'all to love. Okay, so if I were to like throw an error and something happens, and let's say something prevents my backend from actually saving this data, there's some sort of error. So I'm gonna, you know, say like, call this nugget again, right? It's going to, you see how it showed the optimistic change and then it refreshed back to whatever the old version was, the original the original version. So that's like a cool benefit we get out of the box. You sub for cat content. Well, speaking of subs, I'm opting out of the affiliate program on Twitch because a number of reasons. Primarily, I don't want people that watch my channel to have to deal with advertisements. Number two, I don't know if I was taking full advantage of the subscriber stuff. Oh, you do have a type category. Yeah, I have a type. Yeah, you can have types: cat, bird, reptile. I mean, everything is represented here. Other, yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of like playing with the idea of just not going affiliate and not having to worry about all that. I think it's better for the folks that are coming to watch. Cool. So we were talking about that some of the nice things that Remix does. That's actually the optimistic UI stuff and the error handling things. It's really nice. So something else I kind of need to handle is those errors, like the server errors, right? Because I'm not accounting for what happens if my writing to the database fails. And I don't know, for now I'm just gonna let the application blow up. Yeah, I ended up downloading some custom emotes and I was going to upload them. And at the end of the day, the biggest benefit to me is I'm not doing this to get paid. And honestly, like Twitch takes like 50% of the cut, which is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, it's a free, very nice, high quality service that it offers for free, essentially. Like people can watch a lot of stuff for free, so there has to be a way to monetize it. But 50%, that's wild. And I don't need to support more money going to Amazon, despite the fact that I am on here participating on the platform. So that just felt like the right sort of balance of, what I want to do, what I want this channel to be. I want people to come and hang out and not have to watch advertisements, really. So that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Okay. Okay, that is the optimistic UI stuff that I wanted to deal with today. That's all fixed. So we're going to go back to call this Nugget. Hit save. That gets updated. And then it kind of does the update reconciliation behind the scenes for me, which is great. There is a little bit of a difference down here, is I want to do the same sort of idea with this input. But I need to be able to clear this input as well. So the problem is I can do something like Austin, right, and hit save. Oh, what's happening there? Okay, yeah. Remix is doing the thing. We can do like an A. It kind of like updates things as we go. And then, no, it's not this one. It's when I add one. So if I add, if I add a new owner and I say like Brent and hit save, Brent got added, but Brent should be removed from here. So how do we handle that? We need to use a use effect. We need a use effect. We need a use effect. There's something here on clearing forms. I know it. Clear form, reset form. Clear input. Okay. There it is. Yeah, so this is going to be under clearing inputs after a form submission, which is just going to be a video. Yep. Use transition. Okay. I watched this earlier and I forget how to do it, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out as we go. When I submit this form, I mean, honestly, I feel like it should be somewhat easy to just say add a submit event handler and just say, no, because that was the problem, is if you tap into the submit event handler, they tap into the submit event handler. I forget. There's something on that. Let's see if I can do this. Add owners. Add owner. Cool. It's a fetcher.form. So on submit is reset form. That's right. This is what I was doing. This is where I was doing it. So let's console.log the event. And why can't I do this? And why am I also still logging something else? I don't need that transition. Get out of here. These transitions are fantastic, I gotta say. Cool. Use loader, use action, use transition. Pretty cool. I'm gonna do the transition first. And use fetcher, use action. That's after. Cool. So let's try resetting this form, right? I'm even going to try like not. So this is going to pet owner pet ID / owner, which is this route. So I'm going to try just like returning an empty object here. Return an empty object, that's fine. That way I'm not actually adding things. But I want to clear this form after I hit it. So Austin, and for some reason it's a synthetic base event. So I have that. I do have the form. Okay. Can I reset it? Where are we? Where was that? Pet ID. Was it here? It was here, right? Feels like I should be able to do that. Okay, feels like that. No. Because here was the problem. Is when I add a submit event, it ends up clearing that input before actually making the HTTP request. That was the problem I was dealing with, because if I go over here to owner and I say, cool, we're going to prevent anything from happening, but we're going to like console, console log form data dot get, what is the, it's like, yeah, new owner name. Okay, and we just like throw something in there, hit save. We should see something in the console. Should have seen something in the console. We should have seen something in the console, but we didn't. And that is because what I just said, where we reset the form and then it like doesn't end up sending the data. So if we remove that line, that resets it, and we log something and we hit save, it doesn't reset it here, but we do see it in our console. Annoying. So how do I handle this? I think the way that they did it is still with a transition. So I think I'm going to try, I think I use the same fetcher for all of those, well, most of those forms. So let me try this. Let's console log that transition one more time. And then if we do it with this one, we do still get that over here. So we have access when it comes, I guess, on like submission. Wait, why is this submission undefined? That's interesting. I wonder if I need a different fetcher. Let's go fetcher 2. Oh, wait. Or does it need a different? No, the transition feels like it should be fine. Okay, we have fetcher for the owners, and then we have a different form for that, and then we have a fetcher 2 maybe, and fetcher 2 form. Okay, that's still idling, that's fine. We still have an undefined submission, so that's not it. And that's kind of good, because I would not have liked that. Okay. I'm gonna have to watch this video real quick. Ref current use effect. Here it is. And somewhere else in our app, root layout, if newsletter type equals done, newsletter equals. Okay, cool. So they have types. And if I submit that and I get this last type, I can see the type is idle, I can see the type is idle, and I can see the type is idle. Perfect. But if I submit this one, that's very interesting. Action submission, idle, action submission, action reload, type idle. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Okay, so I think that what's going on is the fetcher is only associated to this component, and I'm sending data across to other routes. Which would mean that it would use their fetchers. Newsletter type equals done. So yeah, let's do another search for multiple forms in one route. But it's not gonna do what I want it to do. Yeah, it's talking about not quite what I'm looking for. It's saying the name is action, the name is action. You should not set this name to action, by the way. That should be underscore action. Okay, I'm stumped. I'm officially stumped. Because I think I'm trying to do some weird stuff. That's essentially kind of what I want to do. So let's at least copy the code over. That looks somewhat right. All right, well, we'll see what we can do. I need to grab this from React. So we're gonna grab importy, import use effect from React. And then this should be my fetcher, not newsletter. Ah, it's because I was logging the transition, not the fetcher. Okay. Okay. I think I got it. I think I've got it. So, yeah, let's take that out. Let's log the fetcher so we can see what's going on there. I think that use effect is going to be right, and we're just going to log that fetcher. Okay, that was helpful. Reset form is not defined. Of course it's not. And now it is. Type of symbol form. There we go. Okay, that is my fetcher, and that has a type of init, probably because the page initialized. If I say test here, add owner, we have some different loading states. So, also very interesting, maybe I didn't need that transition for the optimistic UI thing. I don't know, but that has a type of done. Ah, I see. Okay. So because I'm using a normal form here, well, not a normal form, but a remix form here, I actually don't have access to this information for this form, which is the one that I'm using for that like optimistic UI thing. So really it feels like just use a fetcher for everything. The fetcher form for everything. Like, why wouldn't I? I don't know. It seems more powerful, but I guess this is fine too. Well, this is fine unless you need to do optimistic UI. If you need to do optimistic UI, you do this with a transition, or, well, yeah, you do this with a transition, or you just do the fetcher and use the fetcher's transition state data. Okay, fine. But then you need a different fetcher for each form, I imagine, because this was the information that I logged for this form, but I also used that fetcher for this form, which we can see also gives me all that data, which tells me, kind of weird that it gave me type of idle, and done, type of idle and done. Weird. Hit that one more time. It's just constantly idle and done. Ah, That is not true. That is not true. Yes, each form needs its own fetcher. Because effectively, what's happening, I think that is the last fetcher form that I have on the page. Yeah, yep. That is the last fetcher form that has on the page, and for some reason the last fetcher form is the one that takes precedence over the state changes. So because this form and this form are using the same fetcher, but this one comes later in the page, that is the one that takes ownership of the state changes. So when I submit this one, it's actually telling me the details of this one, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. It's just going to tell me that it's constantly sitting there idle every time I submit this. Idle, 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 yeah, because obviously this form is not doing anything. When I do submit this form, it's going to tell me it is submitting, loading, and then idle. In addition to the initial state when the page loads, yeah, which is idle and the type is init. Cool. And what if I submit this one? This one's also going to tell me the state of that form, despite this not being a fetcher. That's just a form. I think I only have 2 fetcher forms on the page. In fact, every form on the page tells me the state. Okay, cool. Well, let's modify that, yeah? Let's do, we've got the fetcher. We're going to do the new owner. New owner fetcher? Yeah, fetcher. Is that? New owner fetcher is this one. Cool. Which makes me wonder if I even need this fetcher form. I feel like I don't. Which means I'm not using that other fetcher, am I? Somewhere? I don't think I am. So, yeah, it's not commented out. Okay. And then what I do is I go I submit that. That's gonna actually, it's not gonna do anything. This reset form we don't need. Don't need this reset form. And we're gonna say, we're gonna take this use effect, we're going to pass in the new owner fetcher. It's really annoying that I need to use a ref. New owner ref equals, what is it, use ref. Okay, cool. Getting there, getting there, getting there. This needs a ref. Really annoying that I can't just do this on submit. What are you complaining about? Ref equals that. Okay, so let's see this. Let's test it. Test, I submit. Oh, right. Right? Not right. Okay. Those should be defined. That should work. I don't know about... I bet it's this data.ok thing. Yep, there's my current, there's my form. Sitting there idly, we say test, we submit, and we get the submission, we get loading, we get when it's done, and then we get nothing back from the data. So that's the only problem. Okay. So we basically just want to make sure that when it sends, when it comes back, what do we get as a result? What do we get as a result? Am I still logging that stuff? Good. When we get that, we're going to add, I don't know, carry. Hit save. That adds carry. And what we get as a result is the data, which is nugget, which is the type of dog. That's what we get back. Great. So I guess data.id should be fine. I mean, I feel like that was annoying, it went away. I feel like we're missing one thing, which is like, I've got the form. What I'm missing is the request object, because the request object would tell me if the request was okay, or the like status code. That's what I would like to see, is the status code. Looks like I could also just programmatically submit it, which may have been a better thing than to have this use effect, right? This use effect, okay. So this use effect takes place after the form has successfully been submitted, but it is a little bit of a rigmarole of setting up a ref, setting up a fetcher, setting up a use effect. Whereas if I just use the form, I would still need to have a fetcher, but I could essentially listen to the on submit event, reset the form if it's valid, and send that request. Yeah, I think this is the way we have to do it. I wish I could do it without a ref. I'm gonna try messing around with this and see if I can do this without a ref. Let's go the new owner fetcher, right? Let's go. Just comment that out, and let's go On submit equals, yeah, sure, on submit. Oh, come on, you had it. Fine. Handle submit. Okay, so we have this use effect. We're gonna go handle submit. I think I still need that. No. Can I... Let's see, const handle submit equals this function that takes this event and then does like I don't think I can use a use effect inside of a handle submit, but we're gonna try. After all, why not? Okay, so I want the event target. So instead of that, I can do event.target.reset. And see if that works. Manny. That doesn't look like it worked. No, definitely did not work. That didn't work because the submit event. Why didn't that work? I don't know, but that's alright. We got it working fine. Whatever. Alright, we have form clearing, we have optimistic UIs, we have handle submit, breaking the application. What am I doing here? Oh, the image URL. Ugh, that's another thing. Cool. Nope, I actually need that. Let's uncomment that, move it down, get rid of that. Cool. Cool. Buggity nugs. That's so cool. We've got that working. We've got new owner of Austin. We add that owner. When it's complete, it clears, which is correct. We don't need to like clear this beforehand. We could put like a pending state on this button. No, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. That can stay like not optimistic until it completes. Cool. Save owners. Oh. All right, I guess I have an error. Error boundaries. Class function got object. You likely forgot to export your component from the file it's defined in. I know that problem. Okay, well that's going to be the next problem to solve. But that's as far as I'm going to get today. So, comments, questions, concerns, want to see more pictures of my dog, let me know. It's coming there. It's coming around. This is an annoying bug, though. Should be easy to fix, I imagine. Everything is. Nah. Delete works. That's good. I feel like this might need to be like a bigger button. All right, well, that is as far as I'm going to get today, and it looks like Brent might be coming on, so if that's the case, that's where the raid is going. B1 Mind. Hope you're ready, Brent. We're coming in hot. All right, thanks for hanging out, y'all. And until next time, have a good one.